So first of all, what is in memory? So just for your reference, I just prepared this small presentation PPT. See, let's talk about what is in memory first. Okay. So this is our normal computers. Okay. So this is the normal computers where you can see monitor, right? So this is your like a monitor or laptop screen, and this is the keyboard, right? And this is where very important, the CPU, right? In CPU, you have a processor, mostly Cisco processors, right? Intel and in Intel processors and Core 5 and Core 6. And here there is a separate RAM and hard disk, right? Separate RAM and hard disk. So again, if this is a very massive size, we can call this as a server, right? So this is a normal computer. It's like a household computer or a laptop. So the design is like that. The design is like that. RAM is there and hard disk is there. If you want to give something, the data will be stored in hard disk. If you want to give any small application, like A plus B equal to how much. So what it will do? So it will, the RAM will tell you that, okay. So you have to take the value of A, okay. It will search the hard disk, okay. It will tell that, okay, let's say equal to the value stored in hard disk is 1, and RAM will tell you about the addition operation, and again RAM will tell you the hard disk to give the B value, right? So B value 2, and so finally you're going to see the result as a 3. It's a small addition operation. So you have to see the latency time, right? The latency is RAM is continuously interacting with hard disk, and hard disk is sending the information which is stored in the hard disk to the RAM. So RAM is computing based on the multiplication, subtraction, whatever you want. So it is giving the result. So you have to observe, right? So RAM and hard disk are constantly interacting with each other. So for every task, so there is a twice, right? Twice they're talking to each other. RAM will send an input and hard disk will give an output. So to avoid that, so what in memory is, so we are moving hard disk inside the RAM, as shown like this. So right. So in memory computing, RAM is your hard disk, right? Everything hard disk is your RAM. We are moving the hard disk inside your RAM. So if you give the same operation, how much A plus B equal to, it will quickly give you the result as C, because when CPU processor will tell that RAM, right? RAM doesn't have to communicate with hard disk, because inside RAM, hard disk, okay, the data will be stored in the hard disk. So if the system is like a use it for any business purpose, we can call it a server, right? This is called in-memory server. So this is how the HANA box will be come to your home. This in-memory computer will be shipped to your door address. So again I'm telling you, this RAM is only the thing is going to be provided by SAP. Rest everything will be given by their own software vendors. So this is about in-memory computing. Okay, in memory your RAM is nothing but your hard disk. So it will save your latency time. And so because that thing, so the in-memory softwares are more powerful when coming to the retrieval of data, right? So fine, the normal computer, okay, you are just processing some thousands or 1 lakh records, fine, okay. But when you're processing huge amount of data, like 1 trillion, 2 trillion records, okay, it is going to take more time. I think hope you are experienced guys, and if you know, right? So if you want to process some 10 million records, how long it will take? So that's how so SAP has brought up SAP HANA to solve that complexity, the data processing complexity. So they have an in-memory added here. And one more thing, why HANA is powerful is there are only 2 parameters. There are the 2 functionalities inbuilt in HANA. So that makes this software, this appliance as a more powerful than other competitors. What is that? One is in-memory computing. So just now we discussed that. And second is a HANA will store the tables in a columnar format. Not a row format. Anybody knows what is columnar tables? Okay.
Yeah, I know.
You know it, right? Absolutely. So I'm going to walk you through at least 5 minutes to understand what is the row and what is columnar. So this is the row store. This is the row store table which you're able to see here. The data will be stored in a row fashion, right? It's like a small sales table, as just a customer A from Bangalore location, bought some pens and paid 100 rupees, right, on the same date. I'm telling you about the same date. Okay, so same date. So you want to see the report at the end of the day. You want to see the report at the end of the day. So again, where the data is going to store? The data is going to store in a hard disk here, right? Hard disk. So since it is a server, so we call it as a database, right? For small purpose, we call hard disk, and for larger purpose, call it database, right? So this is hard disk is not normally your Seagate or something, and but in server they'll use the Oracle database, right? So what happens? So they go this data they're going to store in a their servers, their database. Okay? So at the end of the day, the business analyst or the store manager want to see how much amount they got, right? They want to see the calculation or reconciliation. So what happens? You have to see that, right? So I want to see the amount I got, at the end of the day. How much is my profit? How much is my sales, right? What happens is total sales, right? What is the total sales, right? A plus customer A plus how many total number of customers and their amount, right? Total amount of pay. This is my customer. So what happens is basically inside the computer, when the processor will run. So what happens is the processor will, the RAM will tell you that the RAM will go to the each line in this column, right? The data is going to store in this format in a hard disk. So it will go to one step and the second step, third step, fourth step. Okay, it will take amount as 100, right? And the RAM will tell you add a place operation, and again if you go to second row, right, it will go to the again 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Again it will go to the fourth step. So from our side, how many steps? 8 steps, right? Again it will go to the same row and it will go all the cursor, right? This is computer, right? Bits, right? So computer 0, 1 only. So it has to every bit and right it will go there and has to take the data. And they has to go. The cursor will go like this, right? Go inside the computer and it has to pick all the key figures and it going to give you the value, right? So this is today my profit is 1000, my sales amount is 1000, right? So that's how. See how long it will take, right? Only it's 4 records. It is taking something in that particular day. Think about a store like a Walmart or think about any telecom company. How many calls, right? How many calls they're going to do it. So at the end of the day, they want to see how much amount they got. So how long it will take? It take a massive amount of time, right? That is the reason we call batch job processing in SAP BW, right? So what happens is, after the store closing, so the processing will trigger, the amount will fetch into this, BW system, and it is going to, run and at the end of the day, it's going to calculate, and tomorrow morning, it is going to give you the reports, right? Tomorrow morning, right? So tonight's sales data, I can't able to see, right? Tomorrow, I have to wait till tomorrow. So that is one of the, reasons. So the SAP has, take a columnar approach. What happens to see, quickly see about a columnar approach, right? So this is a row table. Okay, and this is also row table, okay, for your example, and this is a column table. What is the difference? Let's see. See, whatever the data I'm storing it, right? I'm just storing in a columnar level. This is a row, right? Just I'm filtering this into a one column. Got it? So this is my sales. If I can see that, this is my sales. What happens if I want to report the my amount right away? My cursor will go to here, amount paid, and it will tell you, it will take all the records. Okay, just it will take 1, 2, 3 steps, and it will give you a quick result as 1000, right? So instead of going everything here, so directly I'll go to the respective column and so think about like a huge million records. So this is the same. If you want to give it some plus operation on some like a 1 million data set, by using this fashion, it is going to take a very less latency time. And observe one thing, okay? That is one more feature. One is why HANA is that much capable of processing the data. One is in-memory computing. It's very, very important in memory computing. Your RAM and hard disk, there is no difference between your RAM and hard disk. Your RAM is your hard disk. Okay, that is in-memory computing machines. And second is HANA will store the data in a columnar tables. Third thing, HANA will compress the data. If you can see it, right, this is a columnar store. This is a row row table, if you can see how many cells, it took to store the data, right? Because the customer A already, got repeated. The same day he traveled to Hyderabad, morning, evening he traveled to Hyderabad, and again he bought something in Hyderabad, the same, store, like a big bazaar store in India. So he bought the same thing. So he's again, his customer ID, his loyalty ID is again captured here, right? So instead of row, this is the a problem of row tables. Instead of columnar table, what happens is the same A, okay, so has done transactions of the two cities at the same date, and I'm going to capture it in only one column, so that I can able to save this space. So it's called compress, okay. So the same record, it is going to compress. So there is a user reusability of the columnar storage. So that's why HANA, that's what I'm like, compression ratio 1:10. So the design in such a way that in a row storage, if you have 100 GB of data, okay, and in if you want to convert, migrate or re-architect into the columnar storage, only in 10 GB of data. So you can save this much of space, so that this space can be used to store some other data. So total 3 things, okay, 3 things will able to help SAP HANA faster. One is in memory, second is columnar storage, and compression. What is the ratio? 1:10. So got it? Clear? So with this, we are going to the practicals, right? Hello. Okay. Are you able to hear me, right? Okay. And so far any doubts here? On the in-memory part? No, right?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Fine.
One question, Jagdish.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Is it this columnar store really has impact on performance with your experience?
Absolutely right, Sridhar. And I forgot to tell you one more point, okay? And HANA, the backend software, right? The backend software is designed in a SUSE Linux, okay? SUSE Linux platform. So they have wrote 5 million lines of code, it seems, as per recipe Vishal Sikka. So HANA will behave, okay, when it comes to writing the data, means storing the data, okay, it will follow the row structure. Please remember, okay, it will follow. We are going to store data, right? We're going to store data, so the data is going to store like this, because storing the data in a columnar table is very difficult, right? If you want to store it, right? So it's very easy to store data, right? You want to write a table. But if you want to write in a columnar table, it's very difficult, okay? After coming the data, can you please go on mute? Okay. So while writing the data, you have to remember it follows the row structure. Once the row structure, the data got written to the database, okay, backend it is immediately going to convert the columnar storage, which you and me are unable to see, our Nascent is unable to see. That is the functionality imbibed inside the software, inside that HANA memory chip, right? So that's how. So
Okay.
while writing the data, it will automatically go to the storing, row store format. After coming into the HANA system, it will definitely convert itself into a columnar structure and make available space for you to store other records. Yes, it is a very, I'm telling you, Sridhar, with my experience, yeah, it is going to, this is the optimal way, right? When clients want to decide, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, nanoseconds, so this is the option. You have to go for columnar tables. You have to convert the row tables to columnar tables.
Okay.
So when
it is internally.
Yeah, tell me. Yeah.
Go ahead. Okay, so
yeah,
it internally stores the data, even though while writing the data, it stores in row format, and the user, or I can see it in row format only, but while storing it stores in a columnar way.
No. That is what I the funda here. While seeing also, you have to see it in a columnar structure only, columnar table only.
Okay.
Okay,
if
but
I want
while yeah,
go ahead.
Tell me.
If I want to reconcile the data, how can I reconcile?
That is what I'm going to just park this question away, okay, so that we can discuss this after 30 minutes. Okay, so as of now, please remember the point that while writing the data to the database, okay, it will follow the row structure immediately after the writing operation done. Okay, there is some engines are there in the backend engines are there in the HANA database. That engines are going to convert. There is a row column engine, row store engine, and column store engine. Okay, so they're going to discuss among themselves, and they said the row store engine will tell you that, hey, I got a data in a row format, so would you like to convert it to column storage? So it will send a signal automatically. So your data, you can see the column table only. Okay, I'm going to show you in the system for the next 10 minutes.
Both
Okay,
the data are stored in a linear format, right?
Sudhir, right? Yeah, Sudhir, yeah.
Yeah, Jagdish.
Yeah, linear format, right? Yeah, linear format.
Linear. That's what you are saying, right?
Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm telling you, and this is like this is the white paper given by SAP, and even I don't see anything because right, we cannot able to see it, right? So they're telling like that. That is the what HANA is the best software as of now in the in-memory space compared to other competitors like Vertica, Netisa, Exadata. Yesterday we discussed it, right? So this functionality will keep them apart from the competition. Okay, and second thing is yesterday you guys asked right, and you tell that, and I guess Arun, right? So he said that he's very confused about the different types of products available in HANA. So for you guys, just I prepared this section. Please let me know. Are you able to see this section? Can I decrease the space, right? So this right, this central box, right? This central box, the central block is called SAP Native HANA, right? This is HANA r/native HANA. You can call it a native HANA, right? So fine. Now, how can you able to, how can you're going to take advantage of native HANA in your respective careers, right? So one is having BW experience, right? So what happens before? There is a BW, right, on Oracle. Previously, this is not there. Okay, it just substituted by Oracle, right? This is the database, right? So what happens? Previously this is the case, right? BW and Oracle, ABAP and Oracle. Okay, and there is all SAP modules. 134 modules are on Oracle. Okay, now what happens after 2012? So SAP brought it their own database, and they're going to replace Oracle. To the how many number of customers I have? They have, I think, from SAP website they have 66,000 active customers in the different using SAP products. All these 134 modules, maybe I can say technical functional industry certificate, so they're doing it. As of now, they migrated, okay, so 28,000 customers to HANA, right? Still a lot to do. So you have 44,000 customers, has to migrate and has to come to the HANA. So that's where the real money lies for the service companies, right? For any, like if you take any company service companies, Accenture or any Capgemini or something, right? So that's where the consultants will come, and I think you guys are in onsite and we go with the client side. So the clients, that's where SAP is pushing them to remove the Oracle and put HANA. So that's where your help is needed for the clients now. So let's example, right? I think Venkat is working on, I think, ECC, right? ECC. Now ECC on HANA. ECC on HANA. Previously ECC is described on Oracle. Now it's on HANA. ECC HANA. And further they modified further, and ECC only till 2017 we call as a ECC, 16 as ECC. From I think 16 quarter 3, so SAP has released this S4 component, replacement of ECC, right? By going forward, they're going to remove ECC from SAP all applications, right? And they're going to call as a S4 HANA. For learning S4 HANA also, you should be knowing the native HANA. Without the concept, right? I clearly written here modeling, and you have to understand the SQL procedures, how the data is going to store, how the data is going to replicate. You are not unable to understand S4 HANA concept at all. At the end of the day, in S4 HANA, you'll be having your simple finance tables required for your GL, GA, GP, right? General ledger account, and supply chain, simple logistics, and all these things will be stored in S4 HANA. Again, in a view format. What is view? We're going to discuss in the coming sessions. Just bear with me. That's what. Well, the people from core SQL, right? So core SQLs are going to work, right? Like people like Riva and Arun are going to work like me, like we are going to work on the HANA. This is called native HANA database. We're going to work here, right? And we're going to help all these people, right? This is where the core HANA developer skills are required, right? And like people like Sridhar, right? So he's having a very strong experience in BW. So what he can do is, again, so before 2012, this BW is operating on Oracle. Now after 2012, so they removed Oracle and they're bringing SAP HANA. We call it as a BW on HANA. Okay, and now it further modified and it came as a B4 HANA, right? BW for HANA, not on HANA, for HANA. So S4 for HANA, right? S4 is a simplified solution for HANA. So again, we can say like ABAP, right? ABAP also previously is an Oracle, right? So again, also ABAP also going database is going to shift it on the HANA. So if you did not understand, if you do not understand this block, native HANA block, how it behaves, you cannot understand the functionality also. Because at the end of the day, whatever the code, whatever the business logic you're writing here, okay, has to go down. That is the main aim of HANA, right? Push down everything, right? Push down everything, push down the complex logic to here. How we are going to push it down? You have to use any of the four. Whether you're an ABAP consultant, okay, any complexity, right? I think some query is running 1 hour, right? Let's push it to the database layer. If your BW one report is running 1 hour, just put it to the unwanted logic to the database. It will take care because it is having a in-memory computing and columnar storage, and there's a 1:10 compression ratio. Okay, so everything I'm talking about BO, right? The BO guys, right? BO means, I think hope you guys know what is BO, right? So there is a WebP reports, there is a Crystal reports, dashboards from SAP, from non-SAP. There is a Tableau, famous Tableau, right? Tableau, and there is a ClickView, and Microsoft Excel, Spotfire, so on and so forth. Everything HANA is going to support. All the reporting tools can be integrated with HANA. Okay. Once this native HANA developers like us, we will develop the will bring the data from non-SAP systems. Non-SAP source systems means anything, okay, which is not in SAP, like a Oracle, like a TIPCO, like IBM, like SharePoint, might be SQL sources, and mainframe sources, DB2, all okay without SAP. So all SAP source systems can be brought to HANA by using a SAP BODS tool, right? By using a SAP BODS tool. You can bring the social media data, like be it Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, or any streaming sites like Netflix or FTV or something, right? Or any geospatial data, where from NASA and ISRO are going to produce the data, right? And from the data, you're going to use a SDA called Smart Data Access Technique. Smart Data Access Technique, which is inbuilt in SAP HANA. By using SDA, you're going to bring the social media data to SAP HANA. From here, we're going to store the data, and we're going to replicate the data, right? Store the data, and we will, by using modeling and SQL procedures, we are imbibing the necessary business logic to the data, and we'll make the data reportable, right? We'll make the data reportable, and from here, the BO tools, they're going to consume it. And if you don't want BO tools, you want to consume it in any website, okay? There is a other SAP modules are available. Can anyone name that? Okay, if you don't want to take it in a reporting, what you can do is you can build a website on top of HANA by using this technology, SAP UI5, Fiori, right? There is an HTML5, there is an Hybris is there, e-commerce, right? E-commerce website. Hybris is nothing but e-commerce. Your Amazon is Hybris, right? And Hybris stack and all. This is where, right? If you have any license on this reporting tool, because Tableau you have to pay for license, right? If you have to pay for license, right? And you also have to get a license. If you don't have this, if you don't want to pay for license, and you don't have any, companies not able to afford this kind of things, you can build your own website and you can able to see the data by using the help of SAP UI5, user interface 5, Fiori, HTML5, Hybris, and SAP Mobility. There is a new called Mobility also, so you can able to see in your mobile also. Again, it's appear as a Mobility, okay. And again, you have an ABAP, right? ABAP on HANA. So all these things, right? I think hope it is clear for everyone. Your priorities.
I
Yeah.
have a question.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
So here it shows that BW is taking the data from SAP HANA. So I thought that BW is one of the sources for HANA.
You're right.
Is my
No, your
understanding
understanding
correct?
is wrong. Your understanding is wrong, right?
Okay.
Because that depends upon the customer to customer, right? Right?
Okay.
Because I'm telling you, SAP is for business, right? SAP is a prominent business software, right? So
Mm-hmm.
each customer, each business, each line of business, right? If you're working in a resources, right? Resources means you're working any like a resources companies involved in mining, involved in electricity, right? So if customer is in that business, okay, they have different landscape, right? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
if
Okay.
if you are supporting for any in Amazons or an e-commerce companies, their landscape will be different, right?
Okay.
And if you're working in a government organizations, right, they have to comply with multiple organizations, like IFRS standard coming up from Canada and US, right? So they have to comply like the telecom customers, and their landscape should be different, right? So they want the data so they store it in the BW system, and they want to get back into the HANA, and they want to use this DO tools. That's how they'll do it. So
Okay.
that's called landscape, right? When you get into any project, okay, you should understand the landscape.
Okay.
Hope you know landscape, right?
Yes.
Yeah, in SAP actually, so SAP is very complex. Okay, what SAP will do is, okay, so they want to rule all the lines of business, right? So they want to use their own products. So that's what we call as SAP landscape, right? So something, take example of a Walmart store, right? So mainly they involve into selling groceries, right? So what happens? They mainly they want HR module, right? So to store the employee data, right? So employees working in this thing. So what SAP will do? So SAP will install SAP HR for there. So SAP HR will take care of all the payroll processing, right? Pension and that kind of stuff it is going to take. Okay. Second is finance, right? So at the end of the day, they want to see the profit. So SAP FI will come. After finance, okay, what happens? Okay, after the profit is calculated, they want to store the money in the bank account. So again, SAP Treasury will come. So this amount will be posted to SAP Treasury system, right? And again, so they want to procure it from other countries like and China, right? So they have SAP SCM. So SAP SCM is going to have all these vendor details and what is the status of the the goods movement. Okay, from where it came. So shipped to from China and it came to Eurasia, from there to Mexico, kind of thing. SAP SCM, right? And they have and since there is a retail company, Walmart, so they have a IS retail, SAP IS retail. So everything will be tightly integrated. We call it the landscape, right? So they design, okay. So there is a solution architect will be there. So every company there is an enterprise solution architect. So when any company will come, okay, he will go to the client and he will ask, okay, now what is your requirement? And with the latest technologies, he is going to come up with a blueprint, right? And he will understand, he will ask the client, what is your budget? Clients, okay, fine, it's platinum customers, Walmart or some, like your telecom companies in US, Bank of America, they have a very huge budget for IT. So they said that, okay, fine, we are fine with SAP. So he will brought all the licenses and he will share the solution and he will deliver the project. He will give the KT to the client and he will support for something and you go to that project. That is called landscape, okay? So whenever you go to any project, you have to understand the landscape. How the data is coming,
Okay.
right? How each component is talking to each other, right? There should be some integration, right? Fine, the data will come from source system to here, right? From after that they'll process the data, right? After that it will go to some reports, it will go to that reports. So the data will be distributed.
Okay.
So I think in your line of business, line of company, maybe that is the approach they're following. So what happens is, I know that some BW system, so the data will be bring to the HANA, right? And yeah, since you asked, okay, I'll tell you the technique to bring the data from BW system, okay? Because so this is, let's see. Okay, I think have you heard about the name SLT? SLT is the thing we are going to bring the data from BW. Right? What is SAP? SAP Landscape Transformation Server. Again, tool developed by SAP. So this is your BW system. This is, you can say, as your BW system.
Okay.
Okay. So maybe this is the landscape you're going to follow in your company.
Yeah.
Okay. Do it, yeah. So you have BW system. Okay. By using SLT, you're going to bring the data to here. And again, same thing, right? When the data will be stored in a columnar tables, okay, I'm going to show it in a system, and again, you will do the same thing. These are the 4 tasks of a HANA developer. And depending on these things, you're going to send it to your respective source systems. So are we clear? So our course is all about learning the native HANA.
Just one thing, Jagdish.
Go ahead.
Like for example, you told like this B4 is coming and it is replacing BW, and then ECC is being replaced by S4.
Right, Sudhir, yeah.
So how will be the impact? I mean, this all SAP modules you have written below, right? This box. So industry specific modules will be there, or all the SAP modules are there, and they're all sitting in ECC only currently, right? ECC
right.
box is having.
Absolutely right. Yeah. So it's in ECC, right? Yeah. Down is ECC.
Yeah,
what happens is,
so when you replace ECC with S4, it's only for the memory computing, right? I mean the database computing. So everything else will remain same, or is it going to be a little bit different than what we see now?
I got your question, right? Okay. Fine. See, ECC, right? You are selling ECC, right? Enterprise Central Component, right?
Right.
ECC is a name, okay? ECC is a name given by SAP for Oracle database, right? If I tell you broadly, okay? ECC is a name, right? Everything has your own name, right? I think so. That's where, okay? ECC in SAP terminology, nothing but Oracle database. We call it ECC. So how ECC is built? On Oracle, right? On Oracle. So what happens is, as I told you the story, right? Because whatever the pace at which SAP is going, okay, the pace at which SAP is going, okay, let me try a small here. So in any business, right, in any of the IT landscape, so there are 3, right? What is database layer, application layer, it's universal phenomenon, right?
Yeah.
This is a universal phenomenon. On top of that, what you will do, you will going to write your application layer, right? I'm not going to networking layer and all. It's okay. This time I'll broader out application layer. This is how the we got our IT got invented, right? So this is a reporting layer, right? In our ERP or is it not?
Representation.
Right? Yeah, a representation, right? So yeah. Previously, I'm telling you about, so who is the prominent product in database layer? Which company is operating?
Correct.
Database is the Oracle, right? Oracle and Microsoft, but okay, leave Microsoft, okay. In ERP, right? In the application just taken as an ERP application, okay. What is the ERP leader? SAP, right? SAP? Any application. I'm talking about ERP application. I'm not talking about any Java something, right? Web application. In ERP, so SAP is the leader, right? Sudhir.
Yeah, correct.
Right? If I take any web application, what is the leader? Web application, right? This is I'm talking about ERP application. If I take web application, like like a website something. So what is the prominent source of build? There is a .NET or a Java, right? .NET is from which application? Microsoft, right? And Java is from an Oracle, right? But I'm just talking about the ERP here, okay? Just I'm talking about ERP, okay? SAP is the prominent player in application space in ERP application, right? And reporting, what is the project? Reporting? You know anything? Business?
Yeah,
Objects.
business objects, click view. There are a couple of products.
Yeah. Fantastic. Yeah. Right. Click view, Tableau. Huh? So these are the operators. What happens is, if any company, take example of in a Walmart case, right? Any company like a Walmart, right? If they want to build, one application, one small application like sales application, yeah, one application, okay. So they have to get the license from each and every company, right? Okay, first of all, they have to build, take a license from, the thing, and they were costing $30 per year. Example, and the business object going to talk here about, $100. So this is the just license cost. This is about the license cost, right? So what about the development? So they have to hire the developers like you. They have to get it done. And for developers, they have to hire the Oracle developers. And for SAP, so they want to hire, SAP developers. And for business objects, with Tableau, they have to hire the respective developers, right? The cost is going to increase apart from that. That's an operation cost, and this is the license cost. Okay. So what happens is after 2012, SAP acquired, okay, SAP acquired business objects. SAP acquired business objects. Now they call SAP Vivo. Again, there's a ClickView and there's a Tableau, right? Everything. So what SAP is telling is, was previously you're paying $150 per application reporting. Okay. Since if you take my product, okay, remove ClickView and Tableau, what I'll do is just I'll give you discount. How much you're paying? It's $150, right? So what I'll do is just give me $70 only. Right? So this is the case, okay, from 2008 after the business objects acquisition to 2012, right? What happens is after 2012, so they brought in again their own database called SAP HANA. What they're telling is you take this free of cost, no need to pay for next 4 years. Got it? If you have been Oracle, you have to pay $30. If you are SAP HANA, this is the marketing strategy that is going to use. No need to pay for 4 years, zero payment. Only you have to pay for hardware manufacturer. No need to pay for anything for license. Okay, zero payment for 4 years. After that, we're going to charge the money from you. Okay? Because the businesses are seeing, license cost is going to decrease. There is a reason people are opting for SAP HANA the database.